And then there's this. Fox 4 Sean Rapp talked with a Dart bus driver who first spotted Johnson's SUV the night of the ambush, racing through downtown. Sean.
Yeah, Steve, the bus driver, Donald Washington, spotted the SUV driving at a high rate of speed, busting through a red light at Elm and Harwood about 8:20 to 8:25. He first noticed the SUV, the same SUV that was parked here outside El Centro. But later that same night, when there were people stranded in downtown and DART had suspended service and were trying to get folks out of downtown, the same bus driver, Donald Washington, gets on a bus and takes himself into the fray. As negotiators were trying to end the standoff with Micah Johnson at El Centro College, police drew a line in the sand in front of 7-Eleven at Ross and Griffin, where more than 100 people gathered.
Hands ready for fire, huh?
Some verbally abusive to police.
Let's get on the bus, man. Come on, let's go.
Others just trying to get away from danger and stranded.
They was asked if somebody wanted to go down and pick those people up and transport them to CBD East.
DART bus driver Donald Washington.
I volunteered to go down, and it's like I asked one of the officers on location at CBD East, I said, is someone going to escort me? He says, nope. So I was pretty much on my own, not having any clue to what I was going to be faced with. I thought about the 23rd song, yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
What was that like, that experience down there that night?
It was a very terrible experience. You got a parking lot of people ranting and raving, taunting the officers, and a lot of frustration was boiling. Tempers was boiling.
Washington began moving through the crowd, trying to cajole and convince folks to get on the bus, making several trips.
This guy in the red shirt, I wanted to get him on the bus because he kept taunting the officers. He would run up to the officers. It's like, and the officers just standing there with their rifles, and they wasn't blinking or winking.
Finally, he got him on the bus.
I got the bird in my hand. Take off with him.
What he didn't know then, but would later learn, is that a DART officer who'd come to his aid on buses before was victim in the ambush. Officer Brent Thompson.
He didn't take you to jail unless it warranted, situation warranted. Officer Thompson was a man who was willing to reason with you.
That night, Washington didn't go home. Not the morning after either. Not until Friday night. And when he did, sleep did not come. He stared at the ceiling fan.
And every time that fan turned, there was an officer down. For every spin that I looked up, there was an officer spinning over my head, whether he was deceased or wounded.
And I think that sentiment can be shared by a lot of people who, every time they close their eyes, Thursday night, Friday night, saw those same kinds of images. There are 1,000 stories from last Thursday night, Friday morning. Donald Washington's certainly one of those. Back to you.
All right, Sean Rapp, downtown, thanks.